Brazil, a continental country, a culture mix, and only those who know the country very well can create exclusive solutions for its challenges. And that's what Elo has been doing since 2011. It is proud to be 100% Brazilian and one of the largest payment technology companies in the country. Be near its partners. Create exclusive solutions to meet your real needs. Elo is all over Brazil, at events, concerts, soccer, and much more. In 2019, there were more than 100 promotional actions. The issuers came from all areas: services, retail chains, financial. Already more than 30 major brands issuing Elo Card, accepted by all acquirers, and major facilitators in the country. Having a strong, responsive, dedicated partner by your side will boost your sales and turn your business. Come with Elo.
I would like to thank our partners at Elo. They've been with us at the Phocuswright conference for many years now, and now they join us at LatAm Talks. And Elo has been playing an important role in the development of research, knowledge in Brazil. So that's very important for us that you're here, and we're really happy to have you. So thank you a lot. So for the executive interview, we would like to welcome Damián Scokin, the CEO of Despegar.
Hi, Karina, how are you?
Hi, Damián, I'm good, and you?
Very well, thank you, very well.
Well, last year, about this same time, we were together at the main stage at Phocuswright conference, and a lot has changed since then, right? So let's jump right in and tell us, because we are super excited to hear what you've learned this year, what your vision is for the upcoming years. So to get us started, give us the main numbers for 2020. How are you going to close this year in terms of trip searches, conversion rates, revenue? How's it going for you?
Well, Karina, you know I cannot give you the details of how we're going to close, given that we are a public company. So what I'll be able to give you is some highlights. And in the middle of an extremely challenging year with disappointing results everywhere, given what went on, we can share that we are closing the year in a very optimistic mood, given the pace of recovery that we are seeing in the travel markets in Latin America, particularly in Mexico and Brazil. So rather than talking about an average year, because there's no one average 2020, I would rather tell you that over the last, I would say, couple of months, steady and accelerating recovery of both searchers and gross bookings across the region.
Mm-hmm. And did you see any changes there in your air market share and hotels? And how's your mobile penetration and app penetration? Has it remained stable, or have you seen changes?
No, there has been significant changes among several components of the business. Obviously, domestic travel now represents a far larger portion than before. As I said, countries are at different stages of the recovery. If you see where Peru is in terms of the recovery of its market, it's in a very different place when compared to, for example, Mexico. In terms of the channels, I would say that, and product mix, I would say that we are very happy in terms that our app continue to grow significantly as a percentage of total visits and percentage of total bookings. So our app continues to grow much faster than other platforms. And in terms of products, what we've seen is that our strategy of transitioning heavily into non-air and packages has also continued to grow as a percentage of total bookings. Mm-hmm. those two, mobile penetration and the non-air mix, are, I would say, high notes within a challenging year.
Mm-hmm. And having to manage this unprecedented crisis, what did you learn about Despegar this year? And also yourself as a leader, has anything changed on the company's management style, your management style? What were the main challenges?
Well, I would say that a lot has changed, and we learned a lot also. In terms of how Despegar has changed, I think we were happy. We are happy, and we were lucky that we took strong and decisive actions early on. So nowadays we are a much leaner company, and we're able to do a lot more with less resources. So we learned that we were capable, by focusing on some core areas, to develop results with much lower resources. Second, we consolidated several areas, and we improve speed and coordination across the team. So we are all now much more involved. The beauty of becoming a smaller company in terms of size is that you get involved in a lot more areas and a lot more decisions than before. So we became closer to a startup, and a lot of the teams have been challenged and with a significant workload. But net, it has had a part of fun also. We are closer to being a startup in the way we manage and we operate the company today than ever before. We learned that, again, there's speed is worth a lot, that being decisive in times of crisis is also extremely valuable. And the longer you delay to make decisions in this context, it's extremely costly.
What were your hard decisions this year?
No, obviously we had to make hard decisions in terms of the team, reducing the team. Although we preserved some areas, in some other areas, we had to let go a significant number of people. And keep in mind that the Despegar cut its burn rate, the amount of structural cost, by 45% from one quarter to the other one. I think we were the most decisive company in action in that dimension, and that's not, you cannot do that without downsizing your team. That's a hard decision. But we, looking backwards with the Monday morning's newspaper, as I mentioned, we were glad and we were lucky to make those decisions in time.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have
because our view is that sorry, go ahead.
No.
My point is that although we are seeing, as I mentioned, strong pace of recovery, we do not believe that's going to be a linear recovery. There's going to be ups and downs. What has been going on in Europe in the Northern Hemisphere winter is something that, in spite of the vaccine, would certainly have its effect on Latin America within the next few months. So we expect several choppy quarters ahead of us. Mm-hmm. And right size, I think it's something that we move very fast. And when you look at what other players did, they took longer and you had to take even harder measures because of the delay.
I think it's good to combine your presence, your dominant presence in the region, with that startup model, right? Because then you have best of the both worlds, and you can be leaner at the same time as you are already the largest travel company in the region. So that's amazing, and maybe you find
that's correct. And we not only, you are absolutely right, and on top of that, I would say that we not only combine it with remaining the leader in the region, but we also made a couple of important acquisitions in the middle of the crisis. So So we had like a dual focus on a dual approach. I mean, to streamline and right-size the core of the business, but also integrate Best Day while acquiring a payment company like Coin. So we did not limit ourselves to right-size the company to the new context. So I think that's not only important in terms of preserving the growth strategy and the growth mindset that a company like Despegar should always keep, but also is generating new growth avenues in a very uncertain context. And since we are in this market for the long run, we were willing to take those risks. And again, with 2020 hindsight, we are very happy with those decisions.
Mm-hmm. On that note, you've mentioned Coin, there's the Best Day acquisition. There's a question from the audience. How robust is your pipeline of M&A? Where do you see holes now that you have this strong presence in Mexico and a powerful Brazil business?
Okay, it's also a type of question that is I have to hit the right balance in between confidentiality and being totally transparent. Obviously, we have opportunities in other geographies, not only in Mexico and Brazil, and we are also looking not only just in the pure travel business. For example, Coin is not a company that you would define it as part of the travel space, but certainly is a key component of what we believe should be the Despegar experience, providing more payment options for our consumers. So we believe we have strong and active conversations that are valuable, but again, we've been very cautious in paying the right price. So we're not anxious and will not stretch our wallet to end up paying more than we should in order to be able to deliver value by inorganic growth.
Mm-hmm. And are you being approached by anybody? I know you're going to say that you cannot say that, but just give us a hint. Are people looking to Latin America businesses?
No, I mean, Despegar is a particular company in the sense that we always had a strong cash position, and in addition to that, we increase our coffers given the incorporation of additional funds within Q3. So we are not, I would say, within the target category. We haven't been approached. I can't say that to you. That's absolutely fair and transparent. And we are more in the acquire mode.
Good. That's a good mode to be in as well. What's your take on the Airbnb IPO? Have you seen the numbers just now? Like, it's way beyond their expectation. What do you read of that?
I think it's there are several reads to make in the Airbnb IPO. I wouldn't make any strong conclusions out of the price evolution of a single day. We read the prospectus and we always had a lot of respect for the company. There are a lot of things to learn from them. I read what they said on the roadshow about their Google investment as of last year and how they managed that, what they learned about that. So we believe it's a very important company in our space. There's a lot of things to learn from them, but the success of Airbnb, as the success of any company, cannot be measured by just one-day trading's results.
Yeah, so it remains to be seen, but anyway, it's a positive sign, I believe, for the private accommodation.
No, absolutely, it's a positive sign for me, not just the price evolution, but more importantly that there's such an appetite for a company that's just generated concrete value for consumers, has generated the value for hosts, and it's an additional way to grow the travel space. So we're happy with that. And as usual in Despegar, we're used and happy to compete with the leaders of the world. And we learn a lot from them, and we're pretty sure they learn from us in some aspects.
I'll move to a whole different topic now, because when I saw that Despegar was trending in Brazil on Twitter, when I woke up that morning, I thought of you and I say, oh my God, he must be working now to get this fixed. So you had a key outcome with a bot initiative on Twitter this year with Brazil. So Despegar was trending because you automated the answer to use Twitter's username. Did you not foresee that Brazilians are really creative people and that they would temporarily change their user's name just to mess with the bot, generating some really weird responses from Despegar?
It was funny, and yeah, you're right. When you innovate and you test new things, those are kind of typical outcomes that can happen. I mean, the important thing in those situations is more than upset or anything about what happened. My number one concern is how long it took us to solve it, because that's the mindset of an innovator. If a company innovates, we're going to make mistakes. I don't care about the mistakes. The issue is how fast you learn about that. I would say I didn't like it, but the reaction of the team was pretty quick.
Yeah, no, it was quick, and I think it was a great response as well. But actually, when I saw it trending, I thought of you and I say, oh, that's a headache day for him. So
you know, our space and our community is very much an informal community. So although it's not a nice thing to happen, it's not that serious.
All right. So a bit about the future. When do you expect the travel activity in the region will fully recover? I mean, to pre-pandemic levels, and how is that going to look like?
Well, again, making a splitting between domestic and international travel, I would say that domestic, we expect that by year-end 2021, gross booking levels should be approaching pre-pandemic levels. Mm-hmm. So domestic travel, we expect to be close, slightly below by December 2021. As per international travel, our view, again, with a lot of uncertainty and a lot of things to be defined, is that that's going to take an additional year at least.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And what's going to be your main focus coming forward? 2021, what's your main target?
Well, we have several initiatives. Obviously, we will increase and improve our offer of the products that are gonna be more demanding in this context, vacation rentals, domestic travel. We will also make sure that the integration of Best Day is done in a very fast way. That's part of our approach. And so far it's going pretty well. And obviously to jumpstart Coin, not only to operate within Despegar, but also make sure we expand Coin into other companies and other verticals. That's going to be a significant priority for us. I would say those will be our top 3 priorities going forward.
Great. It's always good to talk to you, Damián. Thank you for being with us. And I hope we can do this in person next year in Fort Lauderdale.
Absolutely. That will be a good sign that we can meet in person. But if I recall correctly, this Phocuswright was going to take place in Arizona. Is that correct?
This year was Arizona, but then...
Well, make sure you change venues. It's not Arizona next time. So just
no, it's going to be Fort Lauderdale.
Canceling variables. Let's do that.
Perfect. Thank you, Damián.
Okay, take care. Thank you, Carolina. Always nice talking to you.